up for auction is an ideal 4315 manual paper cutter, well, semi-automatic paper cutter. It's a manual clamp, it's a manual back gauge, but it's a digital readout, and it's electric cut. All right, so you get the cutter, which I believe does 16 by 9 width by, let's see how far back this goes. Haven't used a manual cutter in a while. So you got 17.125 behind the blade, and I believe it's 17 wide, but it's more like 16.9. So you're cutting down your long way first, no matter what. Even if you're running 12 by 18, you got to take your first cut first. We used to run one of these. It was an electric back clamp with a manual back gauge. We always kept it as a backup. This came in off lease, was in an office. It was like a legal office that did some marketing in-house, I believe. Not much on it. You could tell by how little use and how clean this thing is. All parts are available for this, but there's not much to it. There's your serial number. It's an ideal 4315 guillotine, 120 power, made in Germany. These are good machines. Parts are available. There's your serial number. It's got a 2020 date on it, so I would say it's a 2021 machine. 4 years old, 5 years old. But these don't get a lot of volume, because once you start having to cut a lot with this, you realize you need an automatic machine. If you're just starting out doing short format, you do your wide format, your wraps, you brought in a small digital press, and now people want business cards, they want flyers, cut down to full bleed. This is perfect. Takes up no space. You can even put this on a table. The stand was an option, I believe. And it's a great way to value up to your existing clients, offer more stuff, and do your own marketing in-house instead of sending everything out. Safety key interlock, you can't cut without the key in there. Power switch, manual back gauge, your 2 safety switches. This has to be down to cut, and then you have to press both at the same time. All this is a manual clamp. You don't have to press hard. Light pressure locks it in. It's like cantilevered. There's a weight behind it. As far as I could tell, it cuts straight. The blade's good. You send the blade out to a sharpener near you. I have the book, the service manual. Everything's pretty easy to service this. I don't have the knife holder. I don't have a spare knife, but you can send this knife out and get it sharpened and get it back in a day or two. I have a company on the East Coast that does ours. That's local. Every state has a knife sharpener that does guillotine blades. But again, 16.9 cutting width, 17.125 behind the clamp. So it just means you need to think a little bit more about how you set jobs up on 12 by 18. You want to take a common cut down the middle and then cut everything together. I believe it's an 1 3/4 stack, and you get your little jogger block with it, and obviously the 2 keys. This you just use to jog it up. So I believe this is the height, yeah. So whatever this is what they want you to use to jog, basically, because you're not jogging. Well, you can jog here too. All right, let's cut some paper. I got some 8.5 by 11 somewhere. I'm gonna have to go get my phone holder though. I'll bring you right back. I'll set you up on a tripod, and I'll show you this thing cutting, and we'll get on to the next thing. All right, I'm gonna show you cutting some paper real quick. Just 8.5 by 11. I'm gonna cut it down to 8.5 by 5.5 so you can see that it's pretty accurate. So you roll this back to 5.5. And I get a workout. And you pull it out so it doesn't change on you. All right, load your paper in. You can jog it a little bit. It's not the jogger rules and wires, but you get the idea. You jog it up square against the back gauge. Clamp it down. Close this. Unlock the gauge. stack, and these should be pretty close, and they are. Do one more cut. Let's do 275. So I ran that without closing the clamp. That's not the right way to do it, but obviously it's fine. Okay, let's do this right way. All right, those are in. You get like uneven cutting if you do that. That has to be down. So as you can see, it's a working machine. Cuts look good. In the book, there's how to adjust the back gauge to the calibration scale. Every time you turn it on, you're going to have to, you run the calibration. So you bring it all the way forward, I believe. And then it reads, and then you go all the way back to past 5. So 1.25 is supposed to be your smallest cut. So let's take a cut of that on some chipboard and measure it, see how close we are. Sorry, I'm doing this all by myself. Let me go find a ruler and we'll see how close to 1 1/4 this is. Let's find a good ruler. That's not a good ruler. Here we go. Let's go to our cutter. Always have a good ruler by the cutter. And as you can see, it's pretty close to 1.25. Might need a little adjustment. It also could be that I wasn't holding everything tight. Nah, it's pretty close for chipboard. All right. So you get the ideal, was it 4315? You get the cutter, the stand it's on, obviously 4315. Triumph is made by Ideal in Germany. These are good machines. Great starter out machines for a small format. And again, can't use it without the keys. Keys are included. You get 2 sets. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. You get your cutter block, your jog block, and that's pretty much it. 110 power. Doesn't really need to be dedicated, but it's always good to have that. Questions, comments, reach out. This goes on a pallet. We block it in, we wrap it, we strap it, and you get it in 2 or 3 days. We also take off this because this tends to break if you don't. You could adjust your tension too. This is adjustable here. It's how fast you could jog. So that's like going to be your faster speed. And you could loosen this. You can go even faster. All right. Questions, comments, reach out. Good luck. Happy bidding.